Coming up next, I'm going to tell you my 3 favorite Gourmand fragrances. These are my 3 favorite ones right now that are good for both men and women if you love that kind of more sweet, almost candy-like or food-like fragrance known as Gourmands. Stay tuned, it's coming up next. Welcome back everybody to Joel the Nose, and here I am at Osme Perfumery in Miami. Thank you guys for watching as usual, and let's get right into this. Today's topic is my 3 favorite Gourmand fragrances. You know, this is a category that people tend to either really love Gourmand fragrances or they don't like them, and I'm one of those people that's in the middle, to just kind of lay it on line and be honest. I don't typically wear Gourmand fragrances. It's not my thing usually, but there are some that just blow me away. One of those that's always been one of my favorites that I'm not going to mention today because these are 3 kind of ones that are on my radar now, but it was Essenza Miraculosa from, of course, Peccato Originale. That's a great Gourmand fragrance. It sells out very quickly here, but let me get right into this in no particular order, my kind of 3 favorites. And this is a new one that just came out from Annick Goutal, and this is Folie d'un Soir. Folie d'un Soir. Take a look at this bottle, love it. Goutal bottles always are kind of something special. This one's got this like 70s style like coloring and vibe to it. I feel like I should be going to, you know, Studio 54 in New York, or if you're from Miami, Biscayne Baby, or maybe the Mutiny, back from the 80s, 70s, 80s, but this has that kind of vibe to it. And this one, wow, when you smell it, it's very intense right off the bat. This is one that, oh, got things blowing in front of the camera here. This is one that, again, when you, right off the bat, you smell it, it's intense, a little more intense than a typical Gourmand. This one could probably float between Gourmand and maybe Oriental, but what I like about this is it's got beautiful notes of leather, then you have that rose note in there that kind of gives it that sweetness, but the thing that really turns it for Gourmand to me is the cocoa note. So there's a really good kind of chocolatey cocoa note here, mixed with some incense and myrrh that make it smell almost like, to me, this smells like a chocolate martini. So if you are a fan of chocolate martinis, this is a fragrance that absolutely, let me kind of spray it in the air. Yeah, chocolate martini. So that's why this hits the Gourmand classification for me very well. This is brand new. This is one of their newer ones from Goutal. It just came in here to Osme, so if you want to check it out, and you like kind of that chocolatey vibe, there you go. All right, let's go to my, well, number 2 choice here is Italica from Casa Marati. Again, I mentioned I could have had Essenza Miraculosa from Peccato Originale. Those 2, and that one and Italica are kind of interchangeable for me. This one came out about a year, maybe a year and a half ago now, so still relatively new. And what's interesting on this one, it's got a couple really interesting notes of bourbon and vanilla. That bourbon doesn't necessarily make it Gourmand, but then it has a note of almond and what they say milky notes. Milky notes were about a year and a half ago were really trending hard in perfumery. A lot of niche perfume houses were putting these milky note in their fragrances. But to me, Italica and Casa Marati did it the best. So that milky note combined with that almond definitely gives it that Gourmand-esque feel. To me, of the 3 that I'm talking about today, this is the most classic Gourmand fragrance. If you are a Gourmand lover and you have not tried Italica, you have to try it. Order a sample, whatever it is, get your hands on it. Of course, these bottles are always just so cool. You know, for those of you who don't know, Casa Marati is owned by the same house as Serjoff. They're essentially sister companies. And let's see. Did
This one that you were talking about.
didn't we?
This one,
Did me?
maybe put on something like mixing a little bit.
I think my last one got moved.
I like to wear it by itself because I think
So the last one is.
in oil, everybody will smell it because it's loud.
Yeah.
So whatever you use it.
So this is real life. Bottles get taken in the middle of the thing. Let me find. Hey, did you take Minuit at Demi?
Yeah, I did by mistake. I think I put it back.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, so there we go. I had it out, but it was getting shown. This is my third choice for favorite gourmand right now, and this is Minuit et Demi. Of course, we all know the famous fragrance reviewer Demi. This is, wow, I gotta say, when she released this with Fragrance Du Bois, forgot to mention the house, one of my favorite houses. When she released this, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was a little skeptical. You know, to me, she's a YouTube reviewer like me. I respect her opinions. I think she does great videos, and I love a lot of her selections, but you know, I don't know what she knows about making a fragrance. Obviously, she didn't make it, but she was heavily involved in the design and essentially the curation of the notes that will go into the fragrance. So if you watch her, you know, channel, you'll know this kind of combines a lot of her favorite notes, and to me, this just really hits home. This is a great unisex gourmand fragrance. It's not too sweet. It's kind of fresh, actually, but it's got this beautiful kind of cardamom spiciness at the top. And then you have, interestingly, bourbon and vanilla, just like Italica. So I think that's a classic, you know, kind of gourmand combination. It gives a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of almost like richness, a little darkness to it, almost a little like, you know, again, I mean, you could think of it almost like a bourbon cake, like just, it gets a little rich, and then it also has a note of pimento, like pimento olives and coffee. So when you combine all those, this was a fragrance that, again, it took me a while. I didn't smell it when it first came out. I didn't smell it for maybe 6 months. And then once I did, it was something that I really enjoyed. And I gotta say that I highly recommend, especially if you are a gourmand fragrance lover. Okay? Again, you all know her, Demi Rawling, from, you know, her YouTube channel. And just to hold it up one more time, in case you didn't see it really well. So check it out. Check out these three. I would say these are my, again, my three favorite gourmand fragrances at the moment. And for a category that's not typically my favorite. But I want to bring something for everyone, and I know a lot of you out there love gourmand fragrances. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support. I'll be back soon with another video. Peace, love, and perfumes.